most people see prayer in a completely wrong way. You see prayer as, I think I have a need and I ask God to meet it. That's not the context of prayer. The context of prayer is set forth for us where? In Matthew 6. Jesus says, pray this way. Now listen very carefully. Don't turn it into cliche. Our Father who art in heaven. Now let's just take a look at that. You talk about the perfect psychology of prayer. Look at the way He's addressing God. Our Father. Wow. Demonstrates the intimacy, doesn't it? But then He goes, who art in heaven. Your Father happens to be the God of the universe, and you ought to treat Him as such. Many of you young people were raised with no respect whatsoever for age, authority, or anything. I was out at a school of a very, very famous preacher. If I were to mention, I'm going to mention his name, John MacArthur. And I was out there and I was teaching at Master's College for 2 days, and I was like walking around going, wow, John MacArthur's here. I wonder if I'll get to see him. Now I'm 50 years old. And I'm going, I hope I get to see him. What a privilege. And little 17-year-old students would walk up to me and go, hey, Brother Paul, have you met John? And I'd go, what? John. John who? Well, John MacArthur. And I'd look at them and I'd go, I am 50 years old. I have walked through hell with Christ. I have suffered for the cause of Christ. I bear so many wounds from battles, and I would never call Him by His first name. So we have no sense of honor anymore. And when we go to God, this whole idea of Abba Father, meaning Daddy, be very careful. That interpretation is not really correct. It does demonstrate intimacy, but it doesn't demonstrate Daddy. It doesn't. I'm sorry. The language, it doesn't work. It may be really good for a contemporary Christian song, but it doesn't work. It's not biblical. Because it does not denote the other aspects of that intimacy, which is reverence. Now, it says, our Father who art in heaven. So this perfect balance of intimacy and fear. And then He says, this is the context of all praying, hallowed be thy name. What He's saying there is, special be your name. Unique be your name. It's basically Malachi. That His name be great among the nations from the rising to the setting of the sun. There you go again, Jesus drawing from the Old Testament, but it's okay, He wrote it. And the whole idea is, my whole prayer life, everything I'm ever going to ask you is going to be into the context that my greatest desire is that your name be set apart as supreme above all things. That your kingdom come and that your will be done. That's the context of all praying. And if you don't have that context, you're not praying. So, when we talk about asking the Father for things, for many, many years, as some of you know, I've had my hips replaced, my wrist is made of metal, I've lived in great deals of pain, everything else, and I want to be honest with you, I have prayed for God to heal me. And to some degree, He has. He has really helped me in this last year. But here's what I want you to see. The context of that praying, God heal me, I hurt so bad, was this. If through my healing, your name will be held supreme, and your kingdom will come to a greater degree, and your will of God will be advanced and submitted to, then heal my body. But if not, then let me die in this pain, so long as your kingdom come. So all our asking from God is in the context of our greatest desire, which is His glory and the advancement of His kingdom. Now you're praying. It's not just, I have a want, I have a need, I have a desire. But it's whatever will bring you glory. And it's in that context, with that mind of Christ, that we begin to pray.